Hello viewers. Well, today was the day then that we saw the first news, the first official announcement of Gran Turismo 6 has been revealed, and lots of information as well. Now, I'm just going to go through some of this. You've already seen the trailer. Game's looking quite nice as ever, really sort of pushing the PS3. I think it's clear that obviously they've been developing this game for probably 3 or 4 years now to get to, well, probably at least 4 years to get to this stage. You'll find that games tend to overlap in development. Even right now, if this game isn't for PS4, certainly they'll be developing the PS4 version, but we'll come back to that in just a moment. So I think going through it, obviously the game engine sounds interesting. I think the adaptive tessellation they're talking about shows how they're going to be pushing the PS3, really. Another area of LODs, shall we say, in trying to process the information that's actually on screen. 1,200 cars, that's a lot of cars, though dare I say it, I think when you actually see the final game you're probably going to find there's a number about half that, and a lot of them are going to be replicated cars. Not a bad thing, having lots of cars in there. Let's just hope there's some variety in there as well. We've got 33 locations and 71 layouts. That's nice. I always see these layouts and you think, oh, it's like a different place, but it isn't really. I always class Silverstone as one circuit, despite having the inner circuits, and I never class a reverse circuit as a circuit. I find that just bumps up the figure, and there's other racing games doing tricks like that. From the range of cars, sounds really good at the moment. I think the physics engine obviously improved. They've shown a demo today of the GT5, how it has been subtly improved for Gran Turismo 6. I think that's going to be welcome. No mention on the audio, which is something which I think we were all hoping for, is a big announcement on audio and perhaps a real test to see where that's going. New aerodynamics model, new tyre model. Sounds good. New suspension. GT Academy have helped with some of the developments there as well in terms of physics. New technical partnerships. More historic cars. Multiple aerodynamic parts. They're talking about thousands of parts you can add to your cars, make your own cars, paint your own cars, online course maker, online modes and everything else. So it's taking all the elements they've sort of brought to GT5 over the years, and I think, like I said on an earlier video, GT6 will be what GT5 was meant to be, and that's kind of the way it's worked on every single game. They make the first game where they learn about all the mistakes they've made, and I suppose it's the same with games such as Forza Motorsport as well. Look at Forza 3, and then Forza 4 is everything what Forza 3 is meant to be and more. So they're always refining and developing. Now, this is for PS3. I know lots of people are complaining about that. Why don't they release it for PS4? Well, it's not the first time they've done this. GT2 was Gran Turismo 2 was released quite late in the PS1's life. Gran Turismo 4 was released so late in the PS2's life that many of us were playing PGR3 by the time Gran Turismo 4 came out. It just didn't have the impact anymore, and we'd been hearing about it for 2 years. It felt like an old game. Is it not out yet? So I think they missed out on a lot of customers there. It's not, I can see why people expect it to be on PS4. If you take a PC game, you can have high detail graphics and low detail graphics. So you could have the version on the PS3 and release a similar game on the PS4, but with improved graphic settings. I think everyone would be quite happy to have the same game with loads better graphics running and everything else. So certainly there's an opportunity there. It has been said since later in the day, there was an interview that popped up on IGN that it's in his mind. Kazunori Yamushi was mentioning that it's in his mind to perhaps release it on the PS4. I think we need to look at how long it's going to take. You've got Drive Club coming out for launch. Then you're talking about Gran Turismo 7 Prologue. Then Gran Turismo 7 in 2 years' time. But let's look at the history here as well. When the PS2 was launched, we were looking at Gran Turismo 2000, and that was supposed to come out I think it was about 6 months after the console was released. In the end, it took a year or so, or 18 months before Gran Turismo 3 actually made it out. So Gran Turismo is a long development process, but certainly they have to be refining that and getting these titles out, more often. And I think they can see by their competitors. Forza Motorsport, they're pumping out games every year now, with 2 different teams, 2 different types of games. And we'll have to see where Forza's going. That's going to be interesting to see as well. And whenever we see a new version of that, it won't be long, clearly, with E3 next month. I think it's going to be really interesting. So overall then, the footage that you've been seeing here looks nice. The game looks nice. It's got lots to it. It's going to be absolutely vast, and there's stuff they haven't even mentioned yet. Wow. So it's going to be fantastic. I wasn't at the Silverstone event today. Unfortunately, I couldn't get an invite to it, which was a real shame. And so I don't have any gameplay footage or gameplay feedback for you guys based on the Silverstone demo that was available. But I do look forward to at some point getting a hands-on and giving you guys lots of feedback and information on that. And I do hope that we can cover Gran Turismo 6 where we weren't able to cover Gran Turismo 5. So certainly more information on that soon. But I thought I'd give you some feedback right now. Suffice to say, very positive, looks like a good game, and certainly I'll bring you more news as we have it. But that's it from me for now for this short blog, and there'll be more from me very soon.